Hey Keanu, how you doing, man?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. So, tell us a little bit about this whole transition, coming from Oregon, enrolling at UCLA, that whole process.
Okay. Well, the transition was kind of crazy. Hit the portal, boom. It was a quick transition. I committed probably about 2 weeks right after, and then I hit the visit right before I committed. So then I was like, boom, this is a place where I know I want to be at. It's closer to home. It's somewhere I wanted to be. And then I was like, man, this is LA. It's a great education, great people I'm about to be around, good coaches, good players. So that's what the transition was like. Really smooth, easy process, but also hectic at the same time.
How much did it help that they recruited you out of high school and there was already that relationship?
Oh, I put a big part, because what's crazy is as soon as my name hit the portal, Chip Kelly called me within like 5 minutes, my name hit it. So I was like, cool, we got a number. We still had a previous relationship, so it was really easy.
Was he the first to call?
Nah, he was like probably like the fifth guy. But he was right there though. He was right there though, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you attribute the aggressiveness on defense to?
What you mean, like me personally?
No, just like the front five, kind of in general. Like why are they so aggressive?
We got to get after it, you know what I mean? I feel like that's our culture, that's our mindset as a D-line in general. So, like, we got to get out there, we got to go get it, we got to be the best. So, with us being the best, we got to be aggressive, we got to be stronger, we got to be better than everybody. So, it's just a mindset thing, really, is what attributes to that. And Coach Malloy, too, because it's crazy. Every game, like, during camp, say game day, which is like every fourth day of the rack we have. So our minds got to get right for the game, but it's really practice, but we got to come and attack like it's a game.
How do you kind of cultivate that aggression in a practice? Because like you don't tackle to the ground, like nobody's like fighting in practice or anything.
No, yeah.
So.
I feel like the best way we do it is on point with technique, on point with plays, on point with our mindset. And when we come out here, we got to work. So like when we work, have something to work on, you know what I mean? So I feel like whatever we do in practice translates to the game. So that's how we kind of get that aggressive mindset in a sense.
Staying on that topic, Chip talked about the fine line of being aggressive but also cleaning up the penalties. How do you guys, I guess, straddle that line?
Well, now we got to sit here and add a ball into everything we do with our drills now, and that every time we don't, it's a problem. You know what I mean? So how we do things, the small details. So watching the ball in practice, watching the ball in scout team, watching the ball on film, stuff like that. So it's just really minute details is what we got to do.
That front five is a very deep group. Being in a room with guys like Latu, and what kind of learning is going on from each other, and just in those kind of team meetings and when you guys are practicing?
It's everything. It's like little details. So everybody's like, oh, how you do this, how you do that. So everybody's adding to everybody's game, and I feel like it's really cool to watch them pass rush. Because there's some things I've seen them do. I'm just like, damn, how you do that? So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to add this in my game, or like, with here, with there, spread out here, like little small things that he does that really makes it successful.
Beyond the team goals, like just winning every week, do you find that you have personal goals going from game to game, or maybe goals as a positional group?
I feel like it's more as a positional group thing. I feel like we want to try to be the best front possible, and I feel like how we do that is every day in practice. You know what I mean? Because our goals aren't going to be set in the games if we don't do it in practice. So I feel like every day we communicate, we do what we got to do, and we just try to. Our goals in the game, we accomplish them out here in practice first.
What do you make of like Carson and TJ's style at running back? Because they're also guys who kind of don't shy from contact.
No, not at all. Not at all. I feel like Carson, in a sense, is like he's more of a downhill back, so he's not scared to lower his shoulder. And neither is TJ. TJ do the same thing, but TJ more like he got more vision. But Carson, they're both good. You know what I mean? They're both good. They got some really good attributes to each other, and they complement each other well. So I really, really like practicing against them when I do get the shot to go against them, because it makes me better and it helps me in the long run for everything I do.
Which one's harder to bring down?
They're both hard to bring down.
Yeah.
They're both hard to bring down.
You have a lot of veterans, interior DL. How have they helped you make a transition? You're almost kind of the new guy. You've had a lot of guys. There are a lot of guys that have been here a while.
It's more in the sense of like how they do things here. I feel like because some things I'm used to, I'm like, y'all do it like this, y'all do it like that. They're like, yes, this is how we do it. So they really show me a lot of things of how the system really is here and how things are to go about business and stuff like that. I feel like that's the biggest thing they really helped me with.
How's Coach Malloy been in your development, do you think, and just as a defensive line coach?
Shoot, Coach Malloy's helped me a lot in my pass rush, I feel. Like he's helped me a lot because I was always one-track minded, only one to two moves, but now he's really helped me evolve my game in the sense of like how to pass rush better. I'll just say that, so that's really what he's helped me a lot. Run too, of course, he's tightened the bolts of my run game and things like that, but he's helped me a lot in my pass rush game.
What takeaways did you have from Coastal Carolina, just in your own performance in the front?
I feel like my personal goal. I feel like I could have improved and I could have done some things better, like always. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like our front, we dominated. You know what I mean? I feel like we did really well. Obviously, things to clean up. Little small details that made a big difference in the game. But really, it was just I felt fine, but I still got things to work on.
What do you see from San Diego State?
Man, they're big. You know what I mean? They're big. They're a good offensive line. They got a good run game going for them. I'm excited. I'm really excited that it's going to be a physical game, and I just can't wait to get out there and go get after it.
The San Diego State quarterback is a pretty mobile guy whose name is escaping me at the moment. Does that kind of change your preparation, knowing that there's another threat coming out of the backfield, somebody that can use their legs and get yards?
No, I feel like we got to approach every week the same. We got to have respect for everybody, and how we have respect for everybody is attacking it the same. You know what I mean? We can't take somebody for granted just because they don't do this or don't do that. So I feel like this guy, we got to approach it with the same mindset of coming in, be physical, be dominant, and then that's how we got to do it.
Looking at San Diego State's numbers, it's pretty run heavy. Does that change as far as how you guys look at them on film compared to maybe Coastal Carolina?
No, not really, because we can't take anybody for granted. You know what I mean? Any given week we can lose. Any given week something can happen. So I feel like we got to come out here with our best, come out there, give them our best, because I know they're going to give us theirs. So no preparation's different. Nothing's different. We got to come out there and play our game and know how we can play.
Ken Norton was yelling at the linebackers like 200 yards over and over again, assuming that he's talking about San Diego State's rushing attack. Is that something that like you guys are focused on too? Like, do you often like have a specific like number like that you kind of dial in on, or?
Probably not a number, but I feel like it's more like we got to stop the run and pass rush, because we got a lot of pass rushing guys on this team who can go out and get a quarterback at any given moment. So I feel like interior-wise, we take pride in like, hey, let's stop this run, let's knock this out, let's do what we got to do the best we can do, and just dominate. I feel like that's our mindset. I've said it a lot, but that's the little small things we say.
With this one now being on the road, how much more does that, I guess, put an emphasis on, staying disciplined along the line and things like that?
Staying disciplined, we just got to play our game. I feel like if we play our game, we'll be okay, we'll be good, we'll dominate, we'll do what we got to do. That's the biggest thing. I feel like it's our discipline, watching the ball, running the calls to the fullest, things like that. So that's the best way. I don't think the plan changes home or away.
Good deal. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, how you doing, man?
How was your season debut there?
It was enjoyable. It was awesome getting out there again. Just, they were a good team. We got after the run and just had fun.
Speaking of that, this weekend is going to be a lot of running going on with San Diego State. That seems like their bread and butter. What do you guys have to do to shut that down?
I think it's just the same mindset we take into every game, every opponent, even against our guys all camp. They're a downhill run team. They're good at it, but we're better, and we're going to dominate up front, and that's about it.
You like going against the run or the pass better, or is it not fun?
It doesn't matter. It's all fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were here in 2019. That was the first time the program had ever lost to San Diego State. Is there any kind of extra motivation for this weekend of they got us once, not letting them get us again?
I don't think it comes down to that. Coach Kelly tells us a lot. It's nameless, faceless opponents. So whatever happened then is the past, and we're focused on who we are as a team now and what we're going to do this weekend against them.
You guys did so much off-season conditioning and the running and everything. How did you feel that kind of come into play when you were actually in a game situation?
We were all over the field. We pride ourselves on the defense about running to the ball, no matter who you are. If you're the farthest guy on the D line, and it's a screen pass all the way out there to the farthest DB. So, we harped on it, all off season, just running, and I think it completely carried over the game where all of our guys were just moving all over the field, and it was awesome.
How else do you kind of cultivate aggression in practice? Because you guys don't tackle to the ground. It's not like you're fighting in practice or anything. So where does that kind of mindset come from?
I don't know if it's more aggression. We focus on everything to the point of going to the ground. So all practice we'll work leverage drills in terms of the angles, different angles you might find yourself in for a tackle, and we work the tapping off on the hip and everything like that. So I think it's more for a protection standpoint, where if you work everything up to the point of the actual tackle, then you don't need to go to the ground and risk somebody getting hurt. So we're prepared as always, and
Similar to what I asked Keanu, how do you guys maybe straddle the line, being aggressive but also cutting down on the penalties?
You know, it's a very fine line, obviously, because as a front, you want to be extremely aggressive and dominant up front. I think it's just, you know, like we practice all week, it's just having that composure and being able to kind of dominate. And then once that whistle blows, then it's, you know, before and after the whistle, bringing yourself back to composure and on to the next play and just dominate again on the next snap.
You have a pretty deep rotation at interior defensive line. What are some of the different skill sets that some of these guys bring?
That's interesting. You know, everybody is their own, obviously, but everyone brings something else to the table. We have some guys that are just so dominant up front in the run game and are just kind of just changes their technique, right? You have, you know, if you look at the way we play doubles, it's different for everybody. The way we pass rush is different everybody. So no matter who's in the game, we're just a dominant up front, and you know, everyone kind of feeds off each other. And you know, let me take a little bit of his game, let me take a little bit of his game, and we all kind of gain all the abilities to an extent.
What do you think you bring specifically?
It's an interesting question. You know, for me, throughout my time, I've just really focused on just being a hard worker, no matter what. Do my assignment, my technique, and just learn. And I think that, you know, I kind of hope that I share that with the rest of my D-line brothers, because, you know, I have learned a tremendous amount from all of them. And I'm thankful for all the technique, even from the older guys that were here years ago when I first got here, like Tito, Osa, Martin, and they have had such an impact on me that I hope whatever it is when, you know, my teammates watch me practice, watch me play, that they kind of, that rubs off on them to some extent as well.
How different is this program in the way that it brings in a lot of walk-ins that then get scholarships? You were one. Mm-hmm. It's a little different than other programs. What's the feeling around the program about doing that capability of getting a scholarship if you're a walk-on?
Obviously, I can't speak to other programs because I don't know how it works in those other settings. But here, you know, the feeling of coming in and really putting in the work, regardless if you're a walk-on or a scholarship, I think Coach Kelly's program really just strives itself on you put in the work, regardless where you are on the depth chart or regardless if you're a scholarship or not. It doesn't matter. You know, your work ethic, your toughness, whatever it is, it gets rewarded in the long run. And if you're consistent with it and you just never lose your why and whatever it is that pushes you every single day, in the long run it will all work out. Whether that's a scholarship, whether that's playing time, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, coming in younger and really having faith in that and seeing that in the older guys really helped me and set that mindset to go forward. And now we're here going into the 5th season, and, you know, I'm still working that way because, you know, potential is unknown. You know, it's endless. So, you know, if I keep doing that and day in and day out working hard, who knows what can happen. So
obviously it's just a small sample size, but what's Danton Lynn brought to this defense that's maybe different from what you've experienced here in the past?
I mean, you know, we've had some amazing defensive coordinators throughout my time here, but Coach Lynn is an amazing coach. He has so much trust in our front to just let us do us, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. And, you know, he knows we're going to go out there and dominate, and we're just going to get after it. So he trusts us to do that, which then helps the rest of the defense. And it's just awesome that he puts that trust in us, and he knows that we can get the job done.
What's Danton Lynn like in a game? Like, is he a really hype guy, or like?
You know, it's actually kind of awesome. He's down on the sideline with us, you know, making calls from us, and it's really cool. When we first heard that he was going to be down there, it was like, oh, he's not going to be up in the box, and we got excited because, you know, when we make a play and we come off the sideline, just like every other coach and player is coming up to you and is like, good play, like he's there right there with us, you know, and he's like, that was awesome. Like, we're like, that was a great call, you know, all that stuff. So, you know, it's just awesome having him down there, and, you know, he's a great coach, like I said.
Did he say why he wanted to be down on the field?
No, we don't know why,
Okay.
but maybe that's just his zone, or I don't know what it is, but he likes it. We love him down there, so it's awesome.
What's written on your wrist?
I write this on my wrist every day. It's nothing is given, only today is guaranteed. So it's just a little personal motto to remind myself every day. Just, you know, everything out here is earned, whether it's on the field, in the meeting rooms, in life. And you know, you never know when your last day playing the sport, around doing whatever you want to do, is going to be. So you can't take anything for granted, and you just have to really strive for excellence every single day. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Appreciate it, man. You too.